Do you ever feel like a fraud in your career or just in day to day life sometimes? Like any moment, someone is going to call you out for not knowing enough or not knowing what you're doing at all. If you've been there, you are not alone. Imposter syndrome is real, but it doesn't have to hold you back. Today, I'm going to share 5 actionable strategies that you could use to overcome it almost immediately so that you could step into your new role and into your new skills with confidence and really own your success. For those of you that are new to the channel, I'm Chris Gamble, and this is my channel, the Data Engineering channel. And today I'm talking about imposter syndrome. I can't tell you over the last 25 years how many times I've encountered situations where I felt like I had no idea what I was doing, that I just didn't belong, that people were going to call me out for not really being a data engineer, maybe. And even with decades of experience, I still have those moments where I'm like, man, I should know more by now. And that's the reality of data engineering and tech jobs, is that there's always new stuff. There's always stuff that maybe you didn't know early on. There's just so many things. And so imposter syndrome is a very real situation that happens a lot. In fact, on Psychology Today, I read that 70% of adults have imposter syndrome at some point in their lives and their careers. And 20 to 30% of high performing adults encounter imposter syndrome on a regular basis. And that's the thing with imposter syndrome, is that if you're not learning, if you're not growing, then you're probably not experiencing imposter syndrome. But if you are learning, you are growing, then you are making mistakes, because that's the only way to learn and grow. And you're going to encounter imposter syndrome. So today I'm going to tell you the 5 things that I do personally to overcome imposter syndrome in my own life. And hopefully that will help you to overcome it as well. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you, and it may sound really simple, and you may have to tell yourself this over and over again to rewire your brain, but know this: you are not alone. Like I said, I've encountered it, even more recently within the last 6 to 12 months. You're not alone. Other people have imposter syndrome as well. Your peers have experienced imposter syndrome. I'm sure the person that you sit beside at work or that you're on the Zoom call with have had imposter syndrome at some point, probably in the last 30 to 60 days. So know that you're not alone. The next time that you start doubting yourself, remind yourself that you're in good company, that other people experience this. Again, 20 to 30% of high performing people experience this. It's not a sign that you're failing, and it's a sign that you're learning and growing, and that you care about doing a good job at work. And that's a strength that you get carry through your whole career. So next, we're going to talk really quickly about how to reframe your situation. All right, step 2, reframing your situation so that you reframe it as a learning opportunity. Feeling like you don't know everything is absolutely okay. Nobody knows everything. Instead of seeing yourself as not being knowledgeable enough, see it as a learning opportunity. See it as not a flaw, but reframe it as a chance to grow. Every new challenge is an opportunity to learn something valuable. Again, if you are not learning and growing, then you're not experiencing imposter syndrome, and that's probably a problem as well. But think of this as a learning opportunity and a chance to really level up your game, right? You don't start with all the skills that you need from birth. So everybody experiences this from time to time as they're learning and growing, especially as freshers just moving into a career. Next, we're going to go over a third option. All right. My third hint on how to overcome imposter syndrome, and again, this is something that you need not just in your career, but in your life. Build a supportive peer group. Talking to others in your field really makes all the difference when it comes to being knowledgeable, being helpful to others, and having somebody to support you that understands what you're talking about. When you share your experiences with your peer group, you'll quickly realize just how common imposter syndrome is, and that supportive peer group will remind you of your own value and help you to celebrate your wins. And again, really understand what you're going through and how big of a win it is when you're able to accomplish something. And they'll give you some fresh perspectives on what's going on, and maybe how to approach things so that you don't keep your feelings all bottled up. Be sure that you find your people, find your group. And whether it's a mentor, a coworker, or some type of online community, go out and build that supportive peer group. And even Meetup. Meetup is a great opportunity as well in a lot of areas. So next, we're going to talk about a fourth opportunity that you could use to overcome imposter syndrome. And this is actually one of my favorites. All right. The fourth thing, there is a old SNL skit, always be cobbling. Well, I'm not going to tell you always be cobbling for a data engineer, right? But today I'm going to tell you ABL, always be learning. So continuous learning is so important in any of the tech careers, especially in data engineering. And the more you learn, the more confident that you'll feel. Staying up to date with trends and sharpening your skills helps to really quiet those doubts and kind of calm that imposter syndrome. And you'll know that you're doing the work to stay relevant, right? Plus, learning keeps you excited about your field and really helps to open up doors to new opportunities. So pick up that book, go online, find a Coursera course, or dive into that new project. And that will help you to move past your imposter syndrome. Next, I'm going to give you one final tip that I use really all the time. And I'll give you one quick hint. Doing it right now. All right, so my fifth tip here is help others. This is really, again, the last one, to always be learning, is great. Helping others is something that I've been passionate about throughout my life, throughout my career. In fact, coming out of high school, being a teacher is something that I wanted to do. And so this really might be one of the two favorite tips of the five. Teaching someone else, whether it is through mentoring or answering a question in a forum or creating your own content like I'm doing now, helping others reinforces your own experience and helps you feel good about yourself as well. When you explain something, you realize just how much you already know. And nothing builds confidence like seeing the impact that you have on someone else's growth. Finally, I'm going to wrap it up here and give you just an overarching message. Your imposter syndrome might not ever completely go away, but it doesn't have to hold you back. It doesn't have to be paralyzing. Remember, you are not alone. Every challenge is a chance to learn. Every learning opportunity is a chance to grow. And remember, if you are not experiencing imposter syndrome, then you probably need to figure out a way to step outside of your comfort zone. Now, the next piece, you've got to find a community of peers that will help to root you on and that you could cheer on others. Keep learning, keep growing, and don't forget to give back, because when you help others, you are helping yourself as well. If you've ever struggled with imposter syndrome, let us know down in the comments. Again, knowing that other people are out there experiencing imposter syndrome is important for all of us. And so be sure you tell us your own story in the comments. What's one strategy that's worked for you that maybe I didn't cover today? And be sure to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful and you want to learn more about the data professions and what you could do to get into a solid data engineering career that can earn you over 6 figures. Thank you and have a great day.